action. With Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, this is Kevin Harlan, and we're joined by our reporter David Aldridge on the sidelines.
Go sit down. But she needs to stop because she's gonna be in school and in public.
A shot's good from Irving. And what a matchup we have here in the front court, Greg.
Yeah, each of these teams are anchored by their big men. I think it's going to be physical and highly intensified.
Now here's Conley. 5 on the clock. And the layup's good off the glass.
A great move by Conley. Uses that dribble move to get the space he needed.
Davis. Yes, and it's Irving picking up the assist.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Once he gets in deep on the defense, there is no way he's missing a layup like that.
Back to Edwards. Anthony Davis with the rebound. Greg, as you were saying, beyond the blocks, what makes Anthony Davis special on defense is the way he navigates the floor.
Kevin, most bigs can get picked on in pick-and-roll action. Davis, though, too quick and smart to take advantage of. He can slip screens, hedge, switch, and recover like he's a 3-and-D wing.
Just a ferocious play by Edwards, taking the contact but staying committed to his finish.
And Davis throws it down.
Well, he led him with the pass there, almost like a quarterback timing a route. That was impressive.
Conley surveying the D. Driving in. Here's Gobert. Great D that time from Davis.
Doesn't register as a block, but he did everything you want defending that shot.
Well, you know, sometimes the most pivotal plays don't always go on the stat sheet.
Be quiet.
And talk about playing to your strengths. Getting Thompson a look from the corner, that's as bankable as almost any play you can call.
Edwards, no good. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Thanks very much. I spoke briefly with Chris Finch. Now, when it came to Kyrie Irving, Coach said trying to contain him tonight won't be easy. He told me Kyrie is a fantastic player, but I feel confident that our guys will be all over him tonight. Pretty strong words, guys.
Okay, David, much appreciated. No one near Edwards as he lets it fly. No one near Randall as he lets it go.
I got to grab those rebounds.
Drains it from beyond the arc.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Pass to Davis. It's stolen by Gobert. Here's Edwards. And Edwards with the stuff.
Well, talk about a guy who plays above the rim. Anthony Edwards.
Last year, Coach, as you know, the Timberwolves making it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, that equaled their deepest run in team history. Dropping that series to the Mavs. Minnesota has never been to the finals. One of 5 franchises who've yet to get there. Well, look, it's tough to keep Edwards out of the lane and tough to stop him once he's in there.
Nobody near Irving. It's good from long range. Irving's got 5 points so far.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, if he gets into a good rhythm early, watch out.
Edwards' shot is good.
I love how competitive Edwards is. He relishes getting revenge like this.
Irving drives in. And it's Davis missing.
Oh, yeah, get down, man.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
And that one drops for him. He's got 11.
Man, what a move by Edwards. That was phenomenal.
Down low. Here's Davis. And it's slammed in by Davis.
Boy, both teams racking up the points to start this game.
Yeah, and I'm sure both coaches would like to see more defensive intensity from their teams.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. For three, Edwards. It's rebounded by Dallas. Got a piece of it. And that'll be Dallas as it goes out of bounds. Mavericks retain possession. On its way from Irving for two. Anthony Davis firing on all cylinders for the Mavericks. Scoring, rebounding. He was all over the place during that quarter. They are riding his performance. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Dallas.
Well, their game plan has been very effective so far. They're working the ball inside, putting constant pressure on the defense.
He gets it in there.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
To the inside. Here's Gafford. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. Gafford's got his first points in this one. Pick by Reed. Here he goes. Cranes the three-pointer.
That's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
And we're starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Clock at 6. Dinwiddie surveying the floor. Trying to come right back with the three of his own. And it's no good. And it's Clark in the corner. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Pick by Reed. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Reeves got 5 points now in the quarter.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs it right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
Dinwiddie with the bucket.
And great decision from Dinwiddie there. Looking comfortable and confident in these pick-and-roll situations.
Well, we know, GA, the Mavs are so adept at hunting the matchups they want. They're patient and methodical.
They never look like they're in a rush, right? Even when you send a double or trap the ball, the Mavs stay calm and know where to go. It's what makes slowing down their pick and roll so difficult.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Kevin, thank you very much. Jaden McDaniels has become an X factor for the Wolves. Mike Conley says, we know what he does defensively, but the offense that he can bring for us balances our unit. It's much needed. Guys tend not to think of him as an offensive player, but he does have that in his game. Kevin?
But I love the reference to an X factor. He definitely is that. All right, David, thank you. Alexander Walker on the wing. And the three ball is good.
Well, the defense gave that away. He's a skilled shooter who you have to contest at the arc.
Here's Dinwiddie. Second shot opportunity. Stolen by Reed. And it's Alexander Walker in the corner. Clark with a wide open look. And again, Minnesota with the triple. And look at how the hustle game has been going for Minnesota.
Well, so far they've done a great job of reading the offense and repeatedly putting themselves in the right place to interrupt the play and force turnovers.
And Jason Kidd is called timeout. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. The Mavericks trailing. 1:52 left here in the second. And out of bounds is the Timberwolves. Game
That out of bounds, he didn't even catch the ball.
Hey, Stan, as a coach, what was the most difficult part when transitioning from college to the pros?
That's a great question, Kevin, and I think two things. Number one, the length and the pace of the season. You just didn't have the time to prepare for the next game. Everything was sped up. And then, obviously, the talent of the players. So you're trying to game plan and come up with a way to stop guys who are essentially unstoppable.
And then Washington with the dunk.
And talk about putting some extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space. Here is Edwards. 13 points in the game. Conley's shot is off. Thompson outside. Back to Irving. Inside. Out to Thompson. Takes the three. Anthony Edwards with the rebound. Minnesota in the lead. Top of the key, McDaniels. Conley with it. Outside, Edwards. And so the ball out of bounds. Gobert touched it last. Now, here is Irving. He's got 5. He takes it in. Here's Davis. Good, and the assist goes to Irving. Davis has got it all tied up now for the Mavs.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
And that'll do it for the first half. Game time. From Target Center, back in a moment. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Here is Conley. And Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game. And as outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be.
And here's Marshall from the arc. Gobert pulls it in. And it's Conley with the ball for the Minnesota Timberwolves. 3-point lead. Hits it from
get down.
Well, look, Edwards plays with a lot of confidence, which makes him deadly off the catch.
Knocked away. Stolen by McDaniels. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And Randall throws it down.
He takes advantage of them in every way possible.
And Greg, he lures them into a trap on the steal, and then bang, straight to the bucket.
Turning great defense into great offense. That's the kind of stop you're looking for.
And for his position, Davis, a solid distributor. He's one of the league's most unique players.
They double-team Conley. Mr. Gobert. Now, here's McDaniels. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc.
Stolen by Michael Conley. Here's Edwards. And finished off by Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards has some big bounce in his step.
And we've got a timeout called by Jason Kidd. And coach has decided they need a moment to talk things over. Mavericks trailed by 11. It's Davis on the wing. To the paint. The shot. A shot by Washington, and he's wide open. Good on the triple. Washington's got 7 points in the game.
Well, we know what kind of scorer he is, but he could use a little help.
Over in the corner, Edwards. A three-pointer, no
Sorry,
good.
stop.
Dallas with the ball. Here's Davis, and it's Davis finishing it off.
And with all the different things he does, you expect AD to put up points every night. He's a lot to handle.
Back to Conley. Going inside. Outside for Randall. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. Stolen by Washington. Oh, Davis absorbing the contact.
Yeah, the added muscle Davis has put on, helping him on these tough finishes. Flexing on him there.
Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. The Mavericks at last season's trade deadline added length by acquiring Daniel Gafford and P.J. Washington. Coach Jason Kidd says they help on both ends. Gafford has the ability to roll, he has great hands. P.J. can put the ball on the floor and guard 1 through 5. And then defensively, they both bring physicality. Kevin?
David, there is an argument to be made. That was one of the best trades at midseason this league has seen in a very long time. .121 left to play here in the third. Now Edwards. He's got 21. Great D that time from Powell.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him.
Here's Davis. That misses off the backboard. Timberwolves leading by 5. Right side,
Why are you double teaming?
There's 45 seconds left in the third. And Davis sends it back.
At this point, finding blocks comes naturally for AD. He just anticipates and attacks the basketball.
Yeah, it took just enough off of it for the floater.
Over in the corner, Edwards. Shakes him. A beautiful finish inside by Ant.
Well, when Edwards gets this hot, all an opponent can hope to do is limit the damage.
And an intentional foul right there.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
So hard to contain. Irving enjoys putting the D on their heels and drawing fouls.
And he knocks down the first one. Both free throws good for Irving.
And what an advantage. You really feel like you can always trust him when he's at the line.
On the wing, DiVincenzo. And no good on the last second attempt this time. Anthony Edwards has been leading the charge for Minnesota. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. And we'll be back with you shortly. And with 3 quarters behind us, we start the 4th quarter in what is still anybody's ballgame. And it's the Mavericks with the ball. They trail by 3. To the middle. Ball's knocked loose. Alexander Walker on the wing. No good that time. So it's the Mavericks now. Inside. Here's Gafford. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
And how about the grit and determination in the post? I mean, essential qualities to have late in a close game.
Pass to Minot. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. All right, we'll take a look now at how the points have been generated so far. A scoring breakdown for Minnesota.
Well, they've been absolutely on fire from deep. And until the defense offers more resistance, the coaches are going to keep encouraging them to let it fly.
Bomb.
Minnesota with the rebound.
And you're just not going to see him do that very often. Usually when he rises up, there's a guarantee it's going down.
And coming down the stretch here, both teams still on fire.
Yeah, in hopes that your opponent is just going to go cold. That's not going to happen, it doesn't look like in this one. This might go down to whoever has the last possession.
Just over a minute played here in the 4th. Here's Lively, and he uses the glass on the layup.
And that's about the worst defense I can imagine a team playing coming down the stretch.
Yeah, there's no excuse for giving that up. That's the absolute last thing you want to happen.
Free throw drop for DiVincenzo. You know, Greg, when you look at the Timberwolves' history, the first round had been a problem for them. But not last year, as they swept the Phoenix Suns.
And you got to look at it as being a tremendous success, right? Because going into the season, I don't know that anyone thought they would have made it to the conference finals. But, boy, that young group gelled well together, and the sky's the limit for the future.
Didn't you get a banana already? Or how are you hungry?
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Hi, Kevin. Well, Jason Kidd going over the plan with his team for the last few minutes. He begged them, don't give up. He told his guys 1 possession at a time. Let's go out there and do what we talked about. That's how we get back into this one. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. Here's Irving over Edwards. Thompson outside. 5 to shoot. On its way from Irving for 2. Gobert pulls it in.
Well, he's more than comfortable in the mid-range, but you can't make them all.
Pass to Edwards. And he gets it to go from the high post. Edwards got 12 points here in the second half.
Where doesn't Edwards score from? Even in the mid-range, he makes shots.
And we've got a timeout called by Jason Kidd. He's very aware of the timing here and the significance of getting things squared away with his team. Mavericks trailed by 6. And here is Gafford. Poked away. It's stolen by DiVincenzo. Handle right side. Drills the three-pointer. And the Timberwolves lead by 9.
Well, it's a three-point shooting league. Guys like him are so important for spacing.
Basket counts. Gafford's got 4 points in the quarter.
Well, he sends it inside where they can get a high percentage look. That's just great basketball.
Here's Edwards. Pass to DiVincenzo. And another three for Minnesota.
Late reaction defensively. He quickly takes advantage, grows their lead.
Yeah, look, the truth is, he doesn't need much space anyway. But that one was too easy.
And stolen by DiVincenzo. Out of bounds, it'll be Mavericks ball. Mavericks trailed by 10. Here's Davis. Look at the clock, a little under 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth. Just 5 to shoot. To the inside. The shot by Powell, no good. Timberwolves on offense. They're on a 13-4 run right now. Down low. Gobert. Count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. And now a 12-point Timberwolves lead. Pass to Davis. Here's Marshall. This one for three. Cans it from downtown.
I did not excel the press.
Down to within single digits for the Mavs. At the elbow, Randall. Fades. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
Guys, I think this is a game they have to feel good about as we wind through the final moments here in what looks to be a solid win for the Timberwolves.
A few times this season, turnovers have cost them, but they really kept the ball under control.
They were both focused and relentless.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Anthony Edwards.
There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Outside Edwards.
And the aggressive attitude of Davis on D makes him such a tough matchup. He's not going to give his man an inch of breathing room, and that was the difference on that possession. Guys, let's just go ahead and call this one